Hey guys, so just a little update here. Some of y'all may have seen the video had put out earlier with the chicks, and I had mentioned that one of them had been coming out and like pooping on a ladder and things like that inside the shed. After further inspection after that video, I realized they had gotten up to some of my beekeeping equipment and crapped on my bee suit and things like that as well. I do have a spare, which is nice. We'll try to wash that and see if it works out. But I went out to kind of check on them a little while ago, see if that light needed to be lowered or anything. And I went ahead and lowered it a little bit because the one of the I'm assuming it's a hen, could be a rooster, don't know. It's one that I call Peaches. It's kind of yellow with some light kind of peach colored feathers on her chest. Was sitting up on the corner of the brood box. So pretty sure that's the one that's been getting out and pooping on everything. So Tuesday, I'm going to be moving those birds out. They are getting way too big for the brooder. They're pretty well feathered for the most part, but it is getting down to 31 tonight and then 34 tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure that it's not going to get too cold for them. But Tuesday is the day that's going to be moving them guys out. It's going to be 58s and 60s for at least the next week, which is going to get them further acclimated to being out and get them trained up to that coop. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to place them in their coop with a full 10 pound of food and 2 gallons of water, and they're going to remain in their coop for 2 days. They're not going to come out to the run and things like that. I want them to get used to using the perches. There's some lower perches I've laid in, which is just some 2x6s that are flipped up so they can perch on that till they get older to reach the higher roost areas. And that's just going to let them figure out their pecking order. They're going to get used to sleeping in that building as well. And during the day, the top panel on the door will come off so they're getting sunlight, and then it will go back on in the evenings because I don't want any cross drafts getting in there, at least for the first few days. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at. And after they've been in there a couple of evenings, on the morning of day 3, we're going to open up the coop, let them mess around in the run, and see how it works out when it comes up to the evening. Do they return to the coop, or do they need to go back into training? So when you're training those chicks, you want to make sure you don't just lock them in there and leave them in there for weeks on time. They have to be able to get out. They're going to get frustrated with each other in there. It's no more than you as a person would want to be locked in a room or a small house with a bunch of people. So you just take your time training them. And typically, from what I'm to the understanding, within the first week, they should start returning back to their coop periodically. These birds seem like, to me anyway, they seem like they're catching on fast. Usually once they see one bird or the other doing something, they kind of fall in line. They are liking to roost up on little perches now. They try to find things to perch up on inside the brooder. So I'm going to not put any roosting poles or anything like that in the run for now. That way, in the evening when they want to get in and sit on a roost, they're going to have to go into the house, into the coop itself. So we'll see how it works out. Everyone have a great weekend.